Oh, come on now. Hello.
What's up? It is Friday. Happy Friday. It is January 18th. Thanks for watching Live with Lee and Haley today. I'm Haley. This is Lee.
On the show today, we got a clogging group that is, I think you'll be surprised as to who they are and what they are.
Yes, they're called All That.
Yeah, they're not stereotypical. When you think of whatever you may have in your head as a clogging group, well, they're going to blow that out of the water because they're different.
They're awesome. They are going to be here and perform for us today. We are so pumped about that. They are so high energy and awesome. So we've got all that coming up.
Because they got a show in Bourbon County. They're up at the high school, Bourbon County High School, this weekend, I think.
Yeah.
Also, Beef O'Brady's.
We're going to be talking about their awesome catering menu because the Super Bowl is right around the corner. And they're a great option if you want to be the coolest guy at your Super Bowl party. You can get the event catered by them. So we're going to take a look at what's on the menu and talk about that. All right. So it's going to be good. What's going on with you?
I love this dress. This is my favorite.
Thank you. I don't know why you love it so much.
I like
Thanks.
you wore
like it
in the video when we sang. You know, when Claire jumped out.
Yeah. 12:45. Yeah.
Boom, boom.
That was
from
good.
The spinners. That was good.
Yeah, that was good.
I like that one.
Thanks. I do get strangely. It's one of those dresses that I just have in my closet that I just wear and I don't think anything of. But I always get compliments on it from people when I wear it, and I'm like, maybe I should wear this more often. It feels like pajamas. It's like this weird jersey-ish type material. I don't know. I live for it.
All right.
So anyway.
You know, I got a video, but you know, yesterday we had Crazy Arms Theater.
We did.
Remember?
We did. I did my hair.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, not yet, because I was at a meeting.
A meeting. When
that was going on, but Haley was doing it up to. Well, a buddy of mine was at some place. There was a lobby, and this guy was actually watching this segment. You'll see, because there's the TV. There's you. And,
being ridiculous.
And the lady from Back for More. And this guy is enthralled.
Wow.
He is mesmerized by the performance that you're giving there.
I can barely hear you talking through his laughter.
Yeah.
Sir, okay, so not everyone's impressed with us. We think that segment's hilarious, but there's some of you that don't.
There he is. Yeah.
We feel really bad about it.
All right.
Oh, no.
Anyway. Maybe he was, you know, this is true, and any comic will tell you. There are a lot of times you're just like, this show was awful. I couldn't get these people to do anything.
Yeah.
And you go out to the lobby, and they come up to you. That was wonderful. And I'm like, really?
Then why weren't you laughing?
Yeah, why don't you tell your face?
Yeah, yeah.
So
and what did they say? They're like,
no, they don't say it. They're just like, oh, we had such a good time. And it just.
You're like, did you?
Yeah, I guess, you know. It happens.
I love to see the random places. A lot of doctors' offices and businesses have our show on during the day, and we love that. So if you're at a doctor's appointment or getting your oil changed or anything like that.
Send us a picture if you're out in public and they're showing our broadcast. We'd like to see it.
Yeah, we want to know where people are watching. We want to know
where these places are.
Yeah.
We're like CNN at the airport.
Yeah, a lot of people say, oh, I was at the dentist and I was watching you. And I'm like, oh, good. Yeah, so I have a little something I want to share. Got a little fan mail today. Remember how we did, we were showing pictures. It started with Jill Swed, meteorologist Jill Swed. We showed you her doppelganger. Yeah. And then you guys sent in some pictures of folks that you thought looked like me or Lee. Well, I got one in the mail.
Oh, boy.
I think you're going to like it. It's Lee Cruz here and Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin here.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. I'd not thought about it, but look.
It's a tough break for both of us.
It is. It is. Poor Governor Bevin.
Yeah.
And then the letter said, Haley, since you were with him on a daily basis, have you ever noticed or had it brought to your attention a striking resemblance of Lee to Governor Bevin? This could be good or bad, but see what you think. So thank you, Mr. Langley Franklin, or Mrs. I'm not sure. Langley could be.
I don't know, I guess.
I don't know. Langley could be. Either way. So thank you.
It's the CIA. That's who sent
Mr. or Mrs. Franklin from West Liberty, Kentucky. So thank you,
thank you. The CIA is located in Langley, isn't it?
In Langley. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You ready for the hot topics now?
Yeah, let's go.
Roll it.
Fire! Topics. Okay, so the government shutdown is ongoing, as we know. Well, some congressional Democrats are left conflicted this week whether or not to retweet this profanity-laced rant from rapper Cardi B. She was talking about the government shutdown. She went on Instagram. Well, it has since gone viral, as most things that she does. She said it was crazy, and she feels bad for the people who have to work and not get paid. She has almost 40 million followers. Several senators debated whether or not to retweet her supportive rant. but they decided not to, saying it wouldn't be senatorial to do so. Because while, she was making actually some very intelligent and...
Was she?
Yeah, she was really speaking out on it. She's clearly done her research. But yeah, she, cursing quite a bit. So people were like,
She's got quite the story as being self-made.
Yeah, she
was a girl who pulled herself up by her own stilettos.
That's right, on a pole.
And a pole.
She was a stripper, and she has talked about that. Did you see that interview when she was on Ellen, and Ellen was like, did you like being a stripper? And she said, well, H-E-double-L. She said, yeah. She was like, And she said she loved it. So, hey. You do you. And now she's worth bajillions and bajillions of dollars. Well, I just know you didn't like it when you were in that position and you had to dance.
Again, because I'm like, are you having a good time? Tell your face.
Yeah. People are just like, well, most people have their faces covered. Oh, wow. Just imagine. Look at those moves.
Tell your face.
Wow. That's nice. And what was the name of the club where you danced?
Club Foot.
Club Foot. Gosh, it didn't last long.
No. A prom proposal posted on social media has caused outrage in one Minnesota community.
Oh, no.
The picture posted to Instagram, the girl asking a guy to a dance at the high school. Well, people are outraged. They say the sign that used the words Hitler and Nazi along with their salute is anti-Semitic.
Well, of course it is. What are you doing? Are you stupid?
They don't teach history anymore in
school. This is insanely
offensive. This is a problem. They don't know what it means, half of them.
Yeah.
They really don't know. They don't really delve into it to understand the atrocities that those clowns committed.
Even if America is split down the middle and we don't agree on things, I think something we can all agree on was...
There should be some bedrock principles.
The Holocaust was pretty bad, okay?
Well, then people don't even believe it happened. I know. Morons.
This was stupid. Most of the time we make fun of the people that are outraged over stuff. That really was so dumb.
I'm not outraged by it. I feel sorry for this guy who's an idiot.
I don't feel sorry for him.
Well, I do.
You can't blame it on other people. You don't know what their curriculum is. He probably knows about it and thought, oh, this will be cool. This is why I'm glad when we were younger, social media and stuff like this was not a thing.
Lord, what would I have done?
I mean, we got in enough I was just having this conversation last night with some people, and we were talking about, we got in enough trouble as it was, without social media.
Because I got a nephew who's now 15, is going to be 16, and I think about myself going through hormonal rages and, thinking about things way too much. And then if I had access to a platform that would allow me to express myself, whether through word or photography, I would have been in so much trouble. I'm sure I would have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's just crazy.
I don't know how they do it. These kids today.
I think they do it, and they do it all. They video it, and I just feel I feel bad for parents these days. I'm like, gosh, how do you keep track of your child? You know what I mean?
I'd be terrified.
It's a lot now.
Lock them down. That's all you can do.
Yeah, you want them to be able to live their lives, but you also want to have those, parental controls. But God bless you if you're a parent in this day and age. Divers off the coast of Hawaii got to encounter what they believe to be the legendary great white shark known as Deep Blue.
Why would you swim with that thing?
I don't know, but I'm so nervous right now.
Look at all the attacks
divers,
that thing has faced.
Yeah. Wow, yeah. Divers swam with the shark, even touching it. Look at this. The shark is a 20-foot-long female, believed to be more than 50 years old. She's thought to be one of the largest great whites on Earth.
50 foot long?
20 foot long.
Oh, 20 foot long.
50 years old.
50 years old. Yeah.
And she shows it. She's got some age spots.
She does.
That is, I guess.
Let me put my hand near the mouth.
Yeah, she seems nice.
But if just a pang of hunger, a small pang, all of a sudden, bang!
Yeah, she's like, I need a snacky.
There's nothing you can do about it. In her environment, she's going to kill you.
You're that snacky. I'm not one of those people that wants to swim with sharks or swim with. Even stingrays scare me.
I've done that.
The ocean scares me.
I've done that. I swam with turtles, stingrays.
Even dolphins. I'm like.
I like dolphins, but dolphins are a randy bunch.
Oh.
Yeah, you got to be careful. If you swim with the dolphins, they love you.
Have you had an experience that you want to share?
I haven't, but I have seen that happen. Where any opportunity they get, This
is why it's a big no for me. It's gonna be a no for me, dog. Okay.
You get a guy going, hey, baby. That's what dolphins do. Hey.
Oh, yeah, they do. They're known to do that.
Yeah. With them little big, flippers.
Yeah, they're big cat callers. They are.
They'll try to herd you up and then gets the dock.
No. I'm just scared of the ocean. I guess it's because I grew up going to the beach in South Carolina, and we still go every year. And the waters there aren't extremely clear. So even when I was a child, you can't see very much in the water. So, you feel something touch you. And, in my head, I always assume it's Big Bertha or whatever they just called her.
Big Bertha?
I can't think of her name. What was her name?
I don't know.
Sister Hazel. No.
Deep Blue.
Deep
Blue, as I just said. Deep Blue. Yeah, I have a real fear of the ocean.
You don't want to be eaten.
Yeah, and I
Right.
I think that's pretty standard for most people.
I think that would be the worst way to go.
Yeah.
To be consumed by anything.
What if you're like Jonah and the whale and it's one bite and then you're in there like...
What, a bite was so swallow. If he bit Jonah, I don't think the story would have turned out the way we read about.
Okay.
Some scientists say they believe Saturn's rings have not always been a part of the planet. Experts hypothesize the rings formed between 10 and 100 million years ago, so they've got it narrowed down. Which they're much later than the planet itself. It was formed 4.5 billion years ago, they say. This has been a debate among scientists for years. Some believe they formed when the planet did. Others thought the rings were captured material from a comet. What we do know is none of these guys had a date to this meeting. This was, of course, reduced over time to rubble, which we now see that is orbiting Saturn.
I tuned out 40 seconds ago. I'm sorry.
What? You don't find that fascinating?
I don't. I think this is something I want them to figure out, and when they've come to an agreement, then tell us.
They're not going to come to an agreement.
I can't. This is on another level. I can't get there.
That's fascinating. Something hit, boom, collided, and the gravity holds it, and now I'm wearing this hula hoop.
Now I'm stripping at Clubfoot.
Yeah, this is me. And now for the finale.
It is my time
Here he comes.
Shine.
Yeah.
What was your stage name?
It was Cletus.
Cletus. It was a real fetish place. All right, those are today's hot topics.
All right, coming up, they've made a name for themselves, clogging into the hearts of millions.
We're getting our own performance from all that next on Live with Lee and Hayley. We'll be right back.